Did I see the Letterman Theater in that bit of? We're back, and it's you don't get Dennis Hopper here every day. Just 1 out of 6. So I said the strangest thing. I've gotten in a bad habit of teasing the viewer. It always works with me when I'm watching television. If they say, when we come back, something about a calendar. It doesn't have to mean anything. I just got to wait and see what it is.
Yeah.
But
the Oliver North thing is got
North
me
was inspired,
on the edge of my chair, so to speak.
Well, I think this is the kind of thing I sometimes get in trouble with by being cute about a serious subject. But I think that you and Oliver North have in common both having run naked through jungles in an episode that some might call, in textbook phrase, a psychotic episode. We don't hear much about North's anymore. Firing a gun, he ran bare-assed in Manila through some place or other.
Really?
One time, and as Richard Nixon would say, that is his right.
Oh, of course, of course. I wish I had a gun when I was naked in Mexico.
The more prosaic way of bringing this up would have been, could you studiously tell us about when you realized drugs had grabbed you by the neck? And that's obligatory talk show fare, but your case is kind of really interesting because we could have lost a great actor.
Oh, yeah.
Was it close?
And Oliver wouldn't have gotten to run for Senate.
And a great defeated...
Of course, he did have a gun and I didn't. There is a big difference.
Yeah, I think he probably still has it.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, my God. You really want me to go into that?
You don't have to do anything here you don't want to do. I want you to have fun.
Yeah. Well, I tried to put that, in the back burner, that one.
Yeah.
Gee, I don't know. Even
you didn't need to go into it in ghastly detail. I just, when I read about you, it's Dennis realized once when he found himself running through the jungle or whatever, in a paranoid episode.
Well, actually, I thought that was a movie.
Probably cocaine. You thought you were in a movie at the time?
I think you mean at the time when I finally reached my zenith, so to speak, of drug taking. Yeah, I was.
Your pharmaceutical peak.
The last 5 years of my using, I consumed about half a gallon of rum a day, with a fifth of rum on the side, just as a backup, and about 28 beers and 3 grams of cocaine.
What do you use?
I stayed away from marijuana because it made me paranoid.
Oh, I see. Well, so you weren't unwise, at least. I'm glad to see you weren't overdoing it.
Yeah, right.
Gee, do you have a liver left, or do you?
Yeah, very amazing. My body. Yeah, I didn't.
Like
didn't
Sid
get
Caesar, you survived.
The mind went, unfortunately. That was.
Yeah.
I just finally really shorted out. That's when I was running naked through the jungle. So.
When people who have that sort of thing happen, and it's not uncommon in textbook cases, why do they get naked?
Well, I thought that I was. Now this is totally bizarre, but I was hearing. First of all, I had showed up to do a movie called Jungle Fever, which I never really got to the set, but boy, if they just had a camera, they could have had a hell of a scene.
Good trailer.
Boy, Jungle Fever, look at this.
Yeah, hard copy, be glad to get that.
So I was hearing friends of mine being tortured in this hotel when I got there, and there was a dungeon down underneath, and they were being tortured, and I was a hologram at this time, and being attacked by poisonous snakes. How about this one? And being attacked by poisonous snakes. So
I just had one of my spells. I thought you were.
You probably looked like probably didn't have any hair,
bald
right?
for a second.
See, I know. It's amazing. But
either that or sitting upside down.
And then World War III started, and that's when I had to take my clothes off. Now, in my mind, they wouldn't be able to kill me if I was naked.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, well, that answers your question, obviously.
It's the old
why people take their clothes off
thing. Yeah.
And also, if you have a rock in your left hand, if you're naked and have a rock in your left hand,
Is it the left hand you have to have the rock in?
It was, in my case, the left hand, yes.
Lord. Well, I have been a few places once. Once I was wrongly medicated, and I remember an evil force was coming down Fifth Avenue, and I had to get out of the way of it. So I know.
I'll tell you, they cut
me
me off. I had a manager who told them not to give me anything to drink. So, strangely enough, your mind shorts out, and you can actually die when you're taking that much booze in your normal intake. If it's cut off, you're in trouble. That's when my brain sort of shorted out, and I started having all these hologram hallucinations, and they thought they were doing the right thing.
had a funny afterthought once watching somebody tell a story like this on one of the idiot shows. That in a way it's almost glamorous, because a kid could think, well, there's Dennis, he's prosperous, he went through all that, it sounds kind of fun. Obviously you can get through it. Luckily it doesn't work that way, and
No, I was
if
really
they think
fortunate.
that, they're dumb to begin with.
Yeah.
But, boy.
Then when
So you're lucky to
when
be
the stuntmen finally found me after being put in jail after jail after jail in Mexico, and all these really gruesome things, being hung in a shower and drinking the water because they didn't know what was wrong with me.
And were those hallucinations?
This was real stuff.
Those were
that was
happening.
Yeah, and then the stuntmen finally got me on an airplane to bring me back to Los Angeles. I suddenly thought that I was in the middle of a movie, and Wim Wenders and Francis Ford Coppola were filming it. And when I got out on the runway, I went out on the out on the wing of the plane, because I knew I was in the movie. That made a lot of sense at that time.
You've been
it was
curious.
Maybe funny, but not not cool.
As Hamlet said, I am glad to see thee well.
Boy.
Gad. Listen, Witch Hunt.
Yeah,
Witch Hunt.
Witch Hunt.
That's on HBO. We have the horrible embarrassment of 30 seconds left.
Oh, good.
We may have to tape a little more.
Oh, well, let's do this
maybe,
quick, man. Witch Hunt. This is a
Witch-
scene from Witch Hunt.
Yeah,
it's
I
going to be
tell
on
you
Saturday night on home box office.
Saturday night?
Saturday night.
Roll it and see what happens.
Still using zombies. I thought that went out.
I just work here.
Don't they start to smell?
Not for 3 months, depending on the weather. He could have put out my eye with that cigarette gag.
Yeah.
You think burning somebody's face a joke, huh, sailor?
No, that's not a joke. Two cannibals are eating a clown. One says, does that taste funny to you? And now that's a joke.
Hey, you know,
Wow, that looks good.
yeah.
I should have had you set that up and everything. I'm embarrassed.
There was
Hey,
a zombie which you didn't see, and I said, "Do zombies smell?" I think that's sort of lost. At
Well,
the
it made
beginning.
sense to me.
Oh, you
There's,
did? You got that? The
yeah.
zombie thing? Okay.
Maybe I'm unusually acute
no,
when it comes to zombies.
Yeah, right.
I tell you what, come back next week. I'll make it
Next
all up
week?
to you. Yeah.
Excellent.
Why don't you? Listen, what about the cannibals eating a missionary? And one guy says, "You enjoying the missionary?" And he says, "Yeah, I'm having a ball." Oh, God. We'll see you next week with Dennis Hopper. We're going to put a chain around him. He's going to be here.
Dick, it's wonderful.
You
by
too,
the way,
man.
seeing you again.
You too.
Really
You're
cool.
looking great.
You
It's
too, buddy.
shining.